Dogs are afraid of this hole. Animals are afraid of this hole. And he said, in fact, one of my neighbors once told me that his dog died and he threw the dog down the hole. And then he said the next morning that dog was on his porch.
What?
Like
Alive.
Alive?
They said it was just a legend, a creepy tale from late-night radio. But now Google's quantum impossibility may have found something terrifyingly real. Whispers online claim that deep beneath the hills of Washington state, an anomaly has been detected. One that matches the exact location and bizarre traits of Mel's Hole, the infamous bottomless pit that has baffled listeners and skeptics for decades. Could one of the most powerful technologies on Earth have stumbled upon one of America's strangest unsolved mysteries? As quantum computing pushes the boundaries of science and AI digs deeper than ever before, a chilling question resurfaces. What lies beneath, and why has it stayed hidden for so long? Did Google's quantum AI reopen Mel's Hole? Lately, a handful of online sources have been making bold claims that caught the attention of mystery lovers and tech watchers alike. According to these conspiracy circles, Google's quantum AI may have been involved in reopening, or at least rediscovering, Mel's Hole, a bizarre geological mystery that first surfaced in the 1990s. These claims suggest that Google's cutting-edge quantum systems identified something anomalous beneath Washington state, and what they found allegedly matched descriptions of the long-lost bottomless pit. The story of Mel's Hole began in February 1997, when a man named Mel Waters called into the popular late-night radio show Coast to Coast AM. He told host Art Bell about a hole on his property near Ellensburg, Washington, that he described as seemingly infinite in depth. Mel said he had lowered over 80,000 feet of fishing line into it without hitting the bottom. He spoke of bizarre effects on nearby electronics and even shared a creepy anecdote about a dog that had been thrown into the hole, only to be seen alive later roaming the woods. Over the years, the story was revisited on the show multiple times, and it steadily grew into one of the most mysterious and enduring paranormal legends of the late 20th century. Despite multiple searches, no physical evidence of Mel's Hole has ever been found. Geologists and scientists have long rejected the possibility of such a structure existing in the Earth's crust. The deepest confirmed borehole, the Kola Super Deep in Russia, only reaches about 40,000 feet, and that took over 2 decades to drill. The temperatures at that depth exceeded 350 degrees Fahrenheit, making it nearly impossible for equipment to function. A naturally occurring 80,000-foot deep vertical shaft in soft earth would collapse in on itself under intense pressure, and any kind of line dropped into it would either snap or melt well before reaching that depth. Still, the story refuses to fade. What's different now is the new twist involving Google's quantum AI, specifically its most recent breakthrough, the Willow chip. This chip was announced as a major leap in computing power. According to Google, Willow solved a highly complex computational problem in just a few minutes, a task that would take classical supercomputers 10 septillion years. That kind of processing capability is more than just speed. It represents a shift in what AI can actually do. What's more, the Willow chip operates with over 100 superconducting qubits and has achieved unprecedented levels of accuracy through error correction. Researchers believe this kind of AI will soon be used to simulate molecules, detect early diseases, and even unlock secrets buried in complex systems, like underground geology. Some researchers are already heading in that direction. In recent studies, scientists used quantum algorithms to perform subsurface mapping by processing seismic inversion data, a technique that could one day be used to locate mineral deposits or unusual underground structures. The leap from mapping resource veins to finding a deep, mysterious cavity isn't such a wild stretch when quantum tools are involved. And now those tools are actively transforming how we uncover what lies beneath. AI's mapping hidden sites. It can feel unbelievable, but right now artificial intelligence is quietly mapping the hidden world under our feet, and quantum innovation is pushing the boundaries even further. These advances are anything but speculative. They are happening today in projects already rewriting how we explore subterranean mysteries. One of the most striking examples is that researchers have trained deep learning models built on architectures like UNet to analyze publicly available satellite and drone imagery and automatically locate sinkholes across karst regions. In one study focusing on the Dead Sea's Ghor al-Haditha area, the AI detected over 90% of sinkhole instances with striking accuracy. The team began with high-resolution drone maps and then scaled the results to satellite images. That meant they could monitor large areas with minimal human input. This kind of predictive mapping of ground collapse zones is becoming an essential tool for preventing infrastructure damage and saving lives. A similar success took place in Peru. In the famous Nazca Desert, home to the mysterious geoglyphs created into the ground thousands of years ago, researchers from Yamagata University in Japan worked with IBM to apply AI to their investigations. They fed drone-collected images into a deep learning system, training it to recognize the subtle markings that human researchers often missed. This resulted in the discovery of 303 new geoglyphs that had gone unnoticed for decades. These symbols had been hiding in plain sight, but thanks to AI, one of the most studied ancient landscapes in the world yielded a fresh trove of discoveries. Beyond archaeology, AI is also helping geologists interpret what's beneath our feet. At Microsoft Research Asia, a project called PEACE, or Predicting Earth's Attributes Through Cognitive Exploration, is revolutionizing how geological maps are read. Traditional map interpretation relies heavily on human experts. It's slow and often subjective. The PEACE project introduced an AI tool called GeoMap Agent that can read and understand complex geological formations on scanned maps. It recognizes different rock layers, identifies fault lines, and helps model underground structures. This tool has already been used to improve earthquake modeling and resource exploration in East Asia. Meanwhile, in Mesopotamia, researchers have turned to semantic segmentation, a type of deep learning that divides satellite imagery into different categories. This AI model was trained on thousands of labeled images to recognize subtle differences in terrain. When applied to satellite data, it found traces of ancient settlements hidden under modern farmland and soil. These discoveries are reshaping how archaeologists think about early civilizations in the region. In tests, the AI achieved an accuracy rate of about 80%, far surpassing what field surveys could achieve alone. Quantum computing is also beginning to play a role, particularly in the realm of seismic data analysis. Researchers are exploring how quantum systems can solve what's known as the seismic inversion problem. In traditional seismic studies, scientists send sound waves into the Earth and try to map out underground structures based on how the waves bounce back. It's incredibly complex and requires massive computation. In a recent study, researchers used a quantum annealer to process this kind of data. It successfully estimated subsurface properties with far less computing time than classical methods. These technologies are not theoretical anymore. They are being used right now to uncover what human eyes and tools have missed for centuries. And as the capabilities of both AI and quantum systems continue to grow, they are unlocking a whole new way of seeing what lies beneath our planet's surface. But for all the tech breakthroughs, not every legend can be mapped into reality. What they actually found, and why it's a hoax. Once you strip away the dramatic headlines and online speculation, the idea that Google's quantum AI has been used to locate or reopen Mel's Hole doesn't stand up to any real scrutiny. It sounds futuristic. It has just enough technobabble to feel believable. But when you look at how quantum systems and AI are actually used and what it would take to uncover a geological anomaly of that scale, the theory falls apart. Quantum computers like Google's Willow chip are designed to solve mathematical and probabilistic challenges that are far too complex for classical systems. That includes things like molecular simulations, cryptographic functions, and modeling chaotic systems. These machines don't actually interact with the physical world in any direct sense. They don't scan, search, or sense geological structures. Instead, they rely on data input and then apply advanced models to interpret or forecast outcomes. So the notion that Google's quantum AI could simply detect a bottomless hole without a massive physical infrastructure of sensors and seismic devices just doesn't hold. That's what makes the claim suspicious. Quantum systems don't work like a magical truth-seeking engine that you can point at a mystery and get a yes or no answer. They don't sift satellite images or comb radar feeds unless those images are first translated into structured data sets. Something that still requires highly trained human teams, not just AI. Also, Google has never released or hinted at any project that links its quantum computing efforts to geological exploration. The company's quantum division, run through its quantum AI lab, focuses on chemistry, optimization, and fault-tolerant computing. There are no published papers, patent filings, or corporate presentations that involve using Willow or any quantum platform to locate subsurface anomalies. And there's no known collaboration between Google and any geophysical survey organization in Washington state. On top of that, locating a theoretical site like Mel's Hole would require precise geographical data like GPS logs, historical mapping, and geological core samples. None of that exists. The original caller never provided coordinates. No government geological agency has ever verified the existence of such a formation. Even amateur groups who have searched the Ellensburg region have come up empty-handed. Without a location, there is nothing for any kind of technology, quantum or otherwise, to analyze. What we're likely seeing here is a familiar pattern, a fascinating myth being recycled through a modern lens. It's something that happens often when new technologies emerge. In the past, it was radar or radio waves. Today, it's AI and quantum chips. These tools sound mysterious and powerful, so attaching them to unsolved legends makes the story seem updated and legitimate. But that doesn't make it true. So while it's tempting to believe a machine as powerful as Willow could stumble across an ancient mystery, there's no evidence to support that leap. What's more likely is that the legend of Mel's Hole is being retrofitted to fit modern scientific terms. It makes the old story feel new again. Sometimes mystery thrives not because it's hidden, but because it was never real to begin with. As technology continues to push boundaries, the line between legend and discovery feels thinner than ever. Could Mel's Hole still be out there waiting to be found, or are we just chasing shadows with sharper tools? Let us know what you think in the comments and subscribe for more deep dive mysteries. Thanks for watching.